Hello, guys. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Bob is not here at the moment, but he's on his way back. He's just gone to grab something. Actually, here he is. He's just coming in. So thank you very much for joining us, everyone. Here we go. How you doing, Bob?
Hi, I'm okay. I'm back now, finally.
Awesome. Um, so yeah, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. As you come in, please smash that like button and let us know where you're coming in from. Say hello, and I'll flash that up on screen. And yeah, we'll get started. Bob, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. Pretty good. It's been kind of a wacky day today because um, I had my grocery delivery scheduled for 4 o'clock, and then they pushed it back to 5, and then it was running late, and that's why I just came back here because my grocery order arrived, and I had beef and eggs and butter to put away. If I'd left it all sitting out on the front porch, the butter would have been a big pile of goo by the end of the live because it's 90 degrees outside plus another 5 or 6 degrees of humidity. It's pretty gross out there today. But yeah, it's been okay. I was feeling a little off earlier in the week, but I'm bouncing back nicely. I think just all the stress of everything between working 4 days a week and getting videos out and dealing with the truck that was stolen and buying a new car that I couldn't afford and having to redo all of my plans for how I'm going to get down to Texas and what I'm going to take with me. I think the stress just finally caught up to me, and I had to just decompress for a couple of days.
Right, right. So yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
There may be moments that there's some dust or something in here because I keep getting a sneeze coming on.
Okay, so while
But
he works on getting rid of his sneeze there, I will tell you that I have gotten the first two minor little pieces of the puzzle. I haven't gotten the seats taken out of my little SUV yet, and I haven't done any building in it, but because of Amazon Prime Days, I have picked up a couple of things for the SUV. Um, and those will be coming out in a video tomorrow or the next day. That's actually kind of cool. I got some bug screens for the windows so that I can put them in and lower the windows to get airflow through the vehicle while I'm parked. And I got a mounting bracket where I can put my Starlink Mini inside the vehicle mounted against the sunroof so I can get Starlink signal while I'm driving.
oh, how cool is that?
Yeah.
That's something I never thought of because it is just a unit, right? So it's portable, so it's basically everywhere Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the Starlink Mini is the size of a sheet of paper. And with the mounting bracket, it'll mount right up next to the sunroof. And because I have the mobile plan, I can literally drive my car down the road and still get signal. Now, it won't be as good as parking somewhere and tuning it in exactly to where it picks up a satellite the best, but it should be good enough to, like if I'm out in the middle of nowhere of Kansas or Texas or whatever, I should still at least be able to stream some radio through it
Mm.
so that I don't have to listen to nothing.
Right, right. And so, I mean, just when it's at your home, you're running through it now?
No, I don't have it turned on right now. I
Oh,
have I have gigabit Wi-Fi through CenturyLink here at the house.
right.
So as
Mm,
I get ready to go, I'll turn the Starlink back on and
right.
not pay for internet here at the house.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, awesome. So, guys, uh, in the chat, thank you very much for coming in. Just to remind you, if you've got any questions for us or anything you'd like us to discuss, please put a Q in front of it, and that'll make it easy to find. And yeah, if you could smash that like button, that would be awesome. And just from Michelle, great to catch you live, Dave. I love all your interviews. You are doing great work, and your time is really appreciated. God bless. Greetings from Cork Island. Thank you very much, Michelle.
Yes.
And salute Dave and Bob from hell. Lol. It's 115 degrees here in Phoenix. Wow. Oh, that's rough. Yeah.
Now, Phoenix is not hell, but you can see the border from there.
Wow. That's really hot. Because I was doing a conversion the other day of the temperature here, and it wasn't close to 115. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I feel Japan's not even
But
that
it's a
bad.
dry
Wow.
heat in Arizona.
Ah, okay. So the thing is, I mean, dry heat is better than humidity, but it's still like a desert, right? It's still
Yeah, 115 is still 115, no matter what they tell you. I mean,
step
you can
outside
tell
and
the
it's like
difference.
an oven.
Like 90 degrees here in Omaha with the humidity is about like 100 degrees down there in Phoenix. But no matter where you're at, 115 is still 115. I've been
Mm,
in that kind of heat and
yeah.
worse. I know. It's I feel for you down there, man. I hope you're staying cool.
Mm. Okay. Hey, Beta. Oh, Rick never buys from Amazon. Um, Cordelia, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. We've got a question here. Is Bob wearing Starlink earphones?
No, these are I think they're Sony. Yep.
Ah,
Focus. Come on.
there we go.
Yeah,
Sony.
they're just Sony. I've had these for I don't know 3 4 years. They were on sale one Prime Day, and I think I gave like $18 for them.
Mm. Okay, SOS question. I started keto in January, ketovore in April, and carnivore beginning of June. Lost 40 pounds. Minus the fat, my body feels like it's falling apart without the structure. Not feeling strong.
Eat more protein.
Mm.
Eat fat. Eat more.
Yeah, it sounds like you're not eating enough, probably. Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope things get better.
yeah,
Um,
I do too. I don't. We're not doctors. We don't even play doctors on TV. And if you feel like you need better advice than that, I would suggest, especially at this point, since you're into it a little bit, go ahead and maybe book yourself an appointment with one of the many really qualified people out there that actually do consultations, whether it be Professor K or Jonathan at Carnivore Muscle, and well, the list just goes on and on and on. And I'm sure they can help you out a little bit eat more than we can. But my first instinct is that you're probably just not eating enough.
mm. John Kelly, should you walk or exercise after your one big carnivore meal or wait?
Go
Hmm.
walk, fly, be free. I don't know for sure, but I have always heard that taking just a 10 to 15-minute walk right after you eat helps digestion. Whether or not
Mm.
that's true or not, I have no idea. That's just what I've heard and what I usually do.
Yeah. I would say, like, just listen to your body. Like, one of the things I find since being on carnivore is um, your body, when your body wants to move, it actually almost compels you to do it. Like you want to get up, you want to walk around or whatever. So if you've got that feeling, then just go and do it. Just yeah, listen to your body.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay. G'day, Paul. How you doing?
Hello, Paul. And while he's scrolling through a few more comments, I would like to add if you're watching on my channel and you're not subscribed to Dave, jump over to Dave's channel and subscribe. And while you're there, go ahead and hit the like button on his channel too, and vice versa. If you're watching on Dave's channel and you're not subscribed to me, that breaks my heart. Please come over to my channel and subscribe as well.
Cheers. And Jeannie, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. G'day, Target Prime Rib. How you going? Ah. Oh wow, I'm really behind with the comments. Whoops.
That's okay. Take your time. We got plenty of time to get through them.
There's a lot of Amazon discussion going on.
Well, it's Prime Days.
Oh, is it?
It's their big sale. Started yesterday, runs for another couple of days. So if you're an Amazon shopper, one of the things that I should mention, if you happen to be watching because you like the off-grid part of my channel and you need a power station of some sort, now's a really good time of year to buy during Prime Day, because I know Jackery and Blue Eddy and I can't remember but the big three names in portable power stations or electric generators, if you want to call them that, all have 50 to 65% off sales going on right now from Prime Days. So now's a good time.
This is one that I wanted to mention. Did anyone else see the video Kerry posted about Alex Carnivore life dying? Yeah, that's really, really sad. Alex has died over, recently, and yeah, it was a very very moving video. I've interviewed Alex, and it was really, really quite shocking this morning to wake up and see that video. Have you seen it, Bob?
I saw a little bit of it because it's Wednesday and I have so much going on. I do a lot of sampling of videos, so I have not yet watched the entire thing. From scanning through the comments, I take it nobody really knows what he passed of. They saying that he died quietly in his sleep. I don't know, but other than that, I don't really know anything about it, and I have not watched Kerry's video all the way through.
It's it's very sad news. And Rick's just adding that I'm waiting until the vegans start trashing the carnivore diet again. Yeah, it'll happen. And sadly, it's not just vegans. It's like doctors who are anti-carnivore that should be a bit more responsible always jump on the bandwagon when something like that happens, Yeah.
When we could be the ones when a vegan passes away, I think we can very confidently point towards their diet, but we don't, because we're not. I'm not going to say that word on a live broadcast for either my channel or Dave's, but let's just say that carnivores tend to be less mean and nasty. Let's put it that way.
Right. Yeah. I feel like, if something happened with someone that's always kind of anti-carnivore, or is regularly calling out carnivores on their Twitter feed or their channel or whatever, if something happened to them, I feel I'd be probably a better person in that I wouldn't immediately go, see, it was the diet, that's why it was, but they always jump to that,
Yeah. And I mean, there are a couple of the big vegan influencers out there that I would be tempted, but I still wouldn't do it, because that's just getting happy and celebrating because somebody passed away shows a very poor amount of character.
Yeah. Yes. Agreed. And, along these lines, I noticed yesterday, Simon Hill from The Proof, he's quite a very plant-based advocate, anti-carnivore, that kind of thing, anti-keto. He put out a video saying he'd been for a CT angiogram and he has plaque in his arteries. It's not very much, but he's talking about it, and he was talking about how he's very surprised and that kind of thing. But then he transitions immediately into saying, "But if I'd been keto, imagine what it would have been like." And it's just like, seriously, like you can't just,
Seriously?
yeah.
Yeah, with all of the people, present company included, that have seen their CAC scores go down,
Mhm. Yeah.
but they refuse to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's that semi-retired Bob guy. He's just an outlier. Most people, when they eat that kind of a diet, they're right there, ready for a heart attack at any moment.
Mm.
But it's
Yeah.
just not true. I mean,
Mm.
you only have to go through what did you hit 1,201 on your interviews?
Interviews. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, 1201.
and I would guess a very big number of those have seen
Mm.
improvements in their heart health.
Yeah.
And that's just
Yeah.
one channel.
Mm.
I don't get it, but
Yeah.
I don't. Like I said, I'm not nasty like they are. I don't pull up their videos and tell them what idiots they're being. I just go on about my day because trying to convince somebody that doesn't want to be convinced is like talking to a brick wall. Why bother? I'm old enough now that I don't I don't care about talking to people like that anymore.
Mm. Mm. Just let me clarify something. Um, DS111 is saying, I'm not seeing Rick here on my end in the chat. DS111, that's because you're on my channel watching, and Rick is on Bob's channel watching. So, like, the chats are combined for Bob and I to see in StreamYard, but the chats are separate on the channels.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
can tell because you started the StreamYard, comments that don't have the little squiggly thing over their picture are coming from your channel, and
Right.
comments that have a little squiggly over them are coming from my channel.
Right. And it's the opposite for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do, 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 do. Where are we? Vegans don't seem to be interested in health. Well, their picture of what health is, they're interested in that. They just don't understand. They could probably feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, okay. Hisham Farag. Hi, Dave and Bob. Pleasure to meet you. QQ, is ethnicity, geography, and genetics have any effect on weight loss on a carnivore diet? I live and was born in North Africa. Many thanks. I think it probably does have some effect. Like I was, for example, I was interviewing Australian Aboriginal gentleman the other day, and one of the issues the Aboriginal community have in Australia is that their their bodies haven't had the time to adjust to the standard the standard ultra processed diet the way that um, other Westerners have. So they have basically had a predominantly carnivorous diet for their entire existence, and now suddenly they're being forced to eat cornflakes and waffles, and they're not doing well. And so I think from in terms of ethnicity and geography and that kind of thing, it does have an impact because people, you look at the Inuit, they never had this kind of garbage, they always ate a basically carnivorous diet, right? Bob, any thoughts?
Yeah. Does it have any effect? Yes. Ethnicity, geography, genetics all have a small effect and can make it so that you have to adjust your fat to protein ratio and you might find that you do better on a fewer number of carbs or a slightly larger number of carbs. There are a lot of variables in this. The thing I will fall back on is what Dr. Berry always says: genetics may load the gun, but what you eat fires the bullet. So while there may be some variance, it's not going to be a huge variance because carnivore is the species appropriate, species specific diet for human beings. There may be slight variations depending on your region and climate and that kind of stuff. Like somebody from the tropics might do better on fruit more often than people that grew up in, say, the north of Canada. But you still don't want a whole bunch of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's the thing that always is a reminder to me that this is a species appropriate diet is everyone does better when they're eating this way, but also no other species has the variety that we try and put into our diet. Every other species eats their own, like what they're meant to eat. A giraffe eats leaves, a lion eats meat. They just eat what they're meant to eat. It's only us that have been messing around going, oh yeah, we need color, we need variety, we need things. Incidentally, we are the only species that have wallets. So that there may be a correlation there.
Yeah, and you can even get more specific than that. There are like panda bears. They are plant eaters, but they are a specific plant. I forget what that plant is, but there's one type of plant that they will eat, and that's it.
Bamboo.
It might be bamboo, and I believe koala bears live in eucalyptus trees.
Yeah.
And that's all they will eat. So many species don't just have a plant or a meat diet. They have this plant or this meat that they will eat, and that's it. Or I forget who it was I was listening to. It might have been Dr. Mason, but it was one of the doctors that I listened to that said, I think it was actually Dr. Chafee who said human beings are the only species on Earth smart enough to invent their own food and dumb enough to eat it.
Oh, I'm going to sneeze again. I've really got to clean this room out. So, Tiger Primary, Dave, I'm following your footsteps and doing my own interviews with both you and Bob. Have an open invite, of course. Anytime you want me to come on, just let me know. You've got my email address, so just shoot me an email and let me know.
Yeah, and shoot me an email. I'll come on anytime you want, as long as it's not too early in the morning or too late at night. Because I need I'm old. I need my beauty sleep.
I don't know what this means, so I might read this and hand it over to you, Bob. Cholula or not to Cholula?
I have no idea.
Okay, sorry, we can't answer that one. Okay.
That might be the name of the desert my property's in, but I won't swear to that.
Okay. Okay, we got any more questions here? Okay, any more that we can actually answer? Not at this point. So chuck a Q in front of any questions you've got or any discussion points you'd like us to get to. Hang on, let's have a look at this one. Dolly Brooks, No Carb Life. Just wondering if anyone heard any news about why the guy from Homestead died. So in the video, Kerry mentioned, as Bob alluded to before, that Alex died peacefully in his sleep, and that was all that was said. We probably shouldn't really speculate about it. I know there are a lot of people in the comments writing things about it and whatever, but it's just, it's very unfortunate and sad. Yeah. But yeah, that was all that was said. Okay. Bob, it is at 3 a.m. Would that be okay?
Only if you're paying me. I only get up in the middle of the night if I'm being paid to get up in the middle of the night.
Right. And D says, don't forget to like and subscribe, friends. YouTube really likes it. Thank you.
Yes,
for
they do.
the reminder, D.
Box fan D. Oh, is hot
Cholula
sauce.
is hot sauce. Well, what do you think, Bob? Hot sauce or not to hot sauce?
Oh, I always hot sauce, but I don't know what that brand is. You have to read the label. I use Frank's hot sauce, which, if you read the ingredients list, is just red pepper and vinegar. And that's all it is. And I've tried red pepper by itself and know that I don't react to it. And if you're a person that reacts to vinegar, that would be very, very rare. So hot sauce should be okay as long as you read the ingredients and there's not something strange in it. Like, I was reading through, somebody just mentioned that they went to a certain place and got a burger and fries, and they're like, but they said they did their fries in tallow, so I shouldn't have gotten any reaction from that. And I got to looking at this company's website, and I know fast food places typically don't use the very best cheese, but what the heck kind of cheese are you using that there's soy product in it? That's probably what made them ill.
Okay. Karen is newish. She's been trying but can't stick with it. Only a few monodiabetic and on insulin.
You want me to go first on this one?
Yeah. Any advice, Bob?
Yeah. This is going to sound a little harsh, but it's not really harsh. I talk about this a lot on my channel. You need to come up with a why. Why are you doing this? A nebulous, I want to be healthier, I want to stop being a diabetic, I want to use less insulin. Those are all okay to get started with, but to stick to it, you need a really specific why that you can hold in front of your face every day. And for everybody, that's different. It could be, depending on your age, you want to get down on the floor and play with your kids, or you want to get down on the floor and play with your grandkids, or you want to watch your kids grow up, or you want to be able to take your dog to the dog park, or you want to be able to walk him all the way around the block, or you want to take your friends to the zoo. Whatever it is you want to do, you need to decide that for yourself and keep it right there in front of you. Then every time you go to the fridge to get something that isn't carnivore, you can ask yourself, like in my case, do I want to be able to build my house down in Texas with my own two hands, or do I want this piece of crap out of the fridge? And then it becomes a much easier choice to not eat the crap. Of course, I don't keep anything like that in the house anymore, but if you have family members that live in the house with you, sometimes it's not possible to completely empty everything bad out of your house. And at that point, you just have to keep your why right in front of you. I want to see my kid grow up and graduate from high school more than I want this donut.
Just to add to that, I would say the thing that has always helped me most is to just take one day at a time. Just focus on getting through today without cheating. And then the next day, it's a little bit easier. You wake up on day two and you feel like, okay, I did it and I feel better. And so that ticks up your resolve a little bit more. And so now just focus on getting through the next day and getting to bed without cheating. And then day three, your resolve goes up a little bit more. And it's just a cycle that continues until you're not worried about the food anymore.
And
Um,
if and if you don't make it all the way, if you get to like day 6, 7, 8, 9, wherever, and you fail, don't think of it as failure. Think of it as a learning process. Starting again the next day, and say, okay, well, I made it 8 days that time. I'm going to go one day at a time and shoot for 9 days this time. And eventually you'll get there. For some people, it can be a very long, slow process because sugar addiction is real. Don't get mad at yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Just smile, accept what it is, and continue moving forward in however big of steps you can take.
yeah. What Bob said there is really important because what we tend to do is when we fall off the wagon, we tend to beat ourselves up like, and stupid person, how could you do this? And, I'm not, you're never gonna be able to do this, blah, blah, blah. You do all this horrible self-talk to yourself. And all that does is push you further and further away from getting back on the wagon and sticking to it. So you got to be kind to yourself and just go, okay, messed up, straight back on the wagon. And you're more likely to stick to it each time you get back on. Dolly Brooks, I cheat a lot. I don't eat potatoes, rice, or any vegetables, but I often have an ice cream bar at night or something. Not really chips, but maybe a pasta once in a while.
And if that helps you for now, that's fine. The story I like to tell, she no longer does that. But all the way back when I first started my channel, I had a gal who had a big hunk of chocolate every night for dessert because she knew she was going to get to have that chocolate at the end of the day. That kept her on track for the rest of the time. And if you add up how many carbs are in one ice cream bar, I think you'll find that you're still solidly low carb. It will probably knock you out of ketosis, which is perfectly fine. But if having that ice cream bar at night for the first 6, 8 months of your journey keeps you on track for the rest of the time, I say don't worry about it because you'll still be getting some improvement. Now, would it be faster if you don't have that ice cream bar? Yes. But again, sugar addiction is real and sometimes it takes a while to break those habits. What are you going to add to that, Dave?
I think that's a pretty good summary. It's just you got to do what you got to do, and if you're almost if you're 90% there, and the doing this is keeping you at least at that 90%, then great. I mean, it's what's working for you at the time. But of course, ideally, you want to get the ultra processed foods out of your diet completely. But, getting most out is better than not getting any out at all. So you just do the best that you can. Claire, Dave, would you consider trying the super yogurt that Dr. Davis talked about during your interview? That's the L-Reuteri. It would likely be fine for the dairy intolerant. That's barely any lactose or casein left. That'd be an interesting experiment. I'd like to try it. I'm not so sorry. I just killed a fruit fly. So I don't know what the fruit flies are in here for. There's no fruit. They're gonna starve in here. Um, so yeah, I might give that a go actually. I'll have to look for his recipe. Have you ever tried making it, Bob?
No, I don't have the
Apparently,
patience. I don't have the patience for any of that kind of stuff. You know, I bought a food processor, and I even actually made. If you go back on my channel, there's a video of me making carnivore bread, and I bought one of them little chaffle maker things, and a couple other little kitchen gadgets, fully intending to do some of these things that everybody's talking about. I don't have the
mm,
patience for that kind of crap. Give me a pound of ground beef, let me throw it in the skillet, mix it up till it's done, dump it on a plate, and eat it. And if I need more, I do it again. And I just keep doing that till I'm full. I don't have the time or the patience to mess with any of that stuff.
yeah, I know what you mean about the time. You know, I remember one of the times I did keto before trying to make cauliflower rice. And it's just like looking back at it now, I think, what was I doing? You're just wasting so much time. Um, yeah.
And
So
I
here we go.
and I see some other comments coming in there. Yes, if you're having an ice cream bar, go to Dr. Kiltz's channel. Dr.
Ah,
Kiltz
yeah.
has a Dr. Kiltz's ice cream recipe that's carnivore ice cream. And even if you have to use a little bit of artificial sweetener or vanilla extract or something into it, I'm told it's very good. Again, I've never tried anything like that because I don't have the patience for making crap like that. But if you know you're going to have some ice cream anyway, go to Dr. Kiltz's channel, make some Kiltz's ice cream, and that should help you along your way.
Hmm. Truth, justice. Been strict carnivore for 17 months, keto for 2 years before that. I feel great. Nice work.
Good job.
Uh, from Paul, my hunger has increased in the last 10 days. Intake is up 50%. I'm wondering what gives. I say go with it. Just eat what your body's telling you it wants. But any thoughts, Bob?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's summertime. Um, and, you know, you had that long stretch where you were trying to get off of your diabetes medicine, and you finally accomplished that. Maybe your body is looking for some more fuel to heal whatever it is that's next to be healed. So if you end up being hungry more, go ahead and eat more.
Mm.
Um, your body probably wants it for something. I wouldn't be afraid of it. Now, you know, at our age, do we want to continue to eat massive amounts of food as much as we can all the time? Well, I don't know that it's bad. I mean, look at Rick. He eats, you know, on average 5.5 to 6 pounds of meat a day, and
Mm.
he's still pretty skinny. So if you're hungry, eat.
Mm. DS111, when observing what unhealthy people in the supermarket are buying, what is the most common or glaring harmful food item you are noticing among the most unhealthy?
Seed oils. It's in everything.
Yeah. Seed
You know, it's
oils, cereals?
yeah. I mean, 95% of the of all of the processed gloop out there, whether it's in a bag or a box or a package or whatever, they take sugar and they take seed oil and they take grain of some sort. They grind it all up into this pasty like goop, and then they press it into whatever mold they want, whether it be cornflakes or pasta noodles or whatever. 90% of it's all the same crap.
Mm.
And my if I had to pick one thing, I would say seed oils. I mean, if you go back on Dave's channel, gosh, it's been a year and a half ago now, but he has a really good video where he goes through and shows you how they make seed oils. And if you ever watch that video, you'll never touch a seed oil again because it's really disgusting.
That's a that's an interesting point. When you put that in terms of any ultra processed food, if you actually watched how they were producing it, you wouldn't eat the stuff, right? It would put you off it altogether, right? So no wonder the food processing plants don't have windows. They don't want you to see how it's put together. Okay, Deborah Lane, oxalate dumping. So tried a cup of tea and a bit of chocolate, like Sally Norton suggested, but a bit of chocolate gave me craving something terrible. What to do?
If you're looking to if you're looking to slow down the oxalate dumping, one of the things that probably won't give you cravings, but will put a little oxalate in your body to slow the oxalate dumping down, eat a leaf. Eat one leaf of spinach, because spinach is one of the highest oxalate foods out there. Now, I mean, you could go buy a can of spinach and have just a little bit of it and put the rest of it in your fridge and all that, but if you're looking for something to slow down your oxalate dumping, buy fresh spinach and just chew on one leaf. That probably won't give you cravings because spinach is basically shack nasty anyway.
Tastes horrible. Most people will only ever eat that in their lifetime because they think it's healthy for them, right? It's not because they love the taste.
I mean, there's an entire industry called salad dressing because most people don't really like salad. Make them up one of them big kale and spinach salads, but tell them, sorry, we're all out of dressing, and see if they'll actually still choke it down.
Something interesting I heard the other day from a guest is about a fast food chain called Chick-fil-A. Now, I've never been to a Chick-fil-A because I guess it's only in the States, and when I was there, I never saw them.
It's really big
but
here.
Apparently, they have a side order of kale.
They have pretty much a side order of anything.
Okay.
I mean, if you want a side order of macaroni and cheese, you can get that.
So, like, how do you make fast food worse? Pair it with kale. That's yeah. DS1. Dave takes one day at a time. Bob takes 1% at a time. Okay. Questions. I think I might be a little bit behind. I am.
That's okay.
Okay, St. Sean, what do you do when you want to have a cocktail? Asking for a friend. Yeah, no cocktails for me.
I haven't had a drink. I got out of the Army because I was kicked out of the Army in 1983 because I had gout. And the only thing that has stayed consistent, besides their horrible advice about, don't eat red meat and all that stuff, the one piece of advice that stays consistent throughout, the Army doctor when I was being discharged and my first doctor when I got out, and every subsequent doctor has said basically the same thing. You can either, because you have gout, you can either walk or you can drink, but you can't do both. So I don't drink. I haven't. The last drink I had was for my 30th birthday, which makes that, 32 plus years ago. And I decided I was going to drink that night, and they were absolutely right. I got done with that 30th birthday party. It was a lot of fun. I don't remember a whole lot of it after about 9 o'clock at night. But I can tell you that I could not walk for the next week. And that was the last time I ever had a drink.
This is in relation to the fruit fly. Dave, you have some spoiled bananas in there. Peter Foster, What about heavy whipping cream ice cream? What are your thoughts, Bob? I
Yeah,
don't have heavy whipping cream, so I'm not sure.
yeah. I don't really do any of that stuff, but like I said, if you're looking for a good ice cream recipe, and I think it uses some heavy whipping cream, go to Dr. Kilt's channel. It's
Mm.
all over his channel. There are many other channels that have ice cream type recipes out there, but Dr. Kilt's is the one that comes to mind right off the top of my head because he's almost always talking about that.
Mm. St. Sean, do you make your own electrolyte powder mixes? Those element packs are ridiculous. Dollar sign. Yeah, I just buy like magnesium and potassium or whatever from iHerb, and I just mix stuff up myself. How about you, Bob?
Um, I buy whatever cheap electrolyte I can get on Amazon. I do keep some salty packets as well, which is like the LMNT packets, only they're from the Keto Chow group. Um, but they are expensive and I don't use them very often. I just buy whatever El Cheapo stuff is on Amazon. And you have to be careful because, every once in a while you'll get an El Cheapo electrolyte from them and it'll be using the wrong kind of magnesium. And I'll spend a day or two on the bathroom because it had the stuff that makes you go whoosh. But once you find one you like and it doesn't make you go whoosh, there's no reason to spend a ton of money. And there are several recipes out there. In fact, if you go to Keto Chow's website, they have an ingredient list for what they put in their salty packets. And if you want to mix it up yourself, you can. And there are
Mm.
many people out there. I think Dante Ferrigno has a recipe on his channel where he mixed up his own electrolyte powder once upon a time. They're out there. Just if you go to YouTube and search homemade electrolyte drink mix, you should see a bunch of recipe things pop up. And just buying the individual ingredients like Dave does and mixing it up for yourself is a heck of a lot cheaper.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. And as far as the magnesiums go, I've it might be different for everybody, but I've found magnesium malate is a good one as far as not making you run for the bathroom. Like I think I'm not sure. I can't remember if it's
I think
citrate
it's
or
magnesium
glycinate.
citrate.
Citrate, yeah, that's that's the dangerous one.
Yeah.
You want to go easy on that one anyway.
Mm-hmm.
um. Okay. Money Mac. Bellshine might be responsible for the fruit flies. Maybe she stepped up from Pop Tarts to bananas.
That's a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah. I haven't seen Bellshine for a while.
Yeah.
And her her hair's packed away somewhere. It's probably very messy by now and stuck together. Um, okay. We've got an update on Chick-fil-A and the kale. 2018 and 2019, Chick-fil-A stopped selling kale due to low demand. Well, I can't imagine. Why would the demand be low?
Because the original use of kale, if you've ever been to a grocery store and you see their very nice vegetable displays surrounded by all these greens that are just there for decoration, that's what kale is for. It's for decoration. I don't think it was ever actually intended to be eaten.
Mm, yeah. Um, okay. We got anything else here? Rick says no electrolytes here. Okay, so no electrolytes, Rick. Just
Yeah, well,
your
he uses salt,
heart
and
attack
depending on what kind
diet.
of salt you're using, I mean, most of the time I use more of the added electrolyte stuff in the summertime because I'm out in the heat all the time. Rick is used to it because he's been out in the sun since about 1983 in Miami. But the difference here in Omaha between summer and winter, I don't really use electrolytes much in the wintertime, but when I'm out in the heat and humidity, I do use electrolytes. But most people will do fine unless you're in an environment where you're going to be sweating out a lot. The stuff you get in a good natural salt, like Redmond's real salt, it actually has all that mineral stuff in it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just checking if I've missed anything. Target Primary. Dave just sent you an email. Thank you. Anthony S. I think I had some spinach on my Subway. Your Subway sandwich? Wow, there's a lot of spinach and kale talk. This doesn't sound like a carnivore carnivore live stream.
Yeah, well, whatever people want to talk about, that's what we talk about.
Yeah. So, thinking of, someone made a comment up here. Let me see if I can find it. Missed it. There's another one. It's getting terrible. I mean, festered. Anyway, I can't find it, but someone made a comment that, maybe Chick-fil-A adding the kale was, to, appeal to the health conscious. It's like, that's like McDonald's adding salads, it's like, you look at that and you go, yeah, that little bit of lettuce, that's helping.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. It's like the old joke I see all the time where somebody is at a sandwich shop and they've ordered their big monster sandwich that's like 2 feet long and stacked yay high with stuff. And as they're wrapping it up, they say, "Oh, and could I have a Diet Coke with that?"
Yeah. Yeah. It's that Diet Coke's got a lot of work to do. So Saint Sean, I recently quit coffee. Are you pro con coffee? How about you, Bobby? You pro con?
I'm both. Do I think coffee is ideal? No. Do I think it's carnivore? No. Do I like it? Oh yeah. But I've always just had it black. If you're trying to do everything else, sticking to strict carnivore, cutting out all of the other crap that you used to have, if coffee is the last thing you get rid of, you might not ever have to get rid of it. I know many people that have done just fine by continuing to drink coffee. You could probably feel better without it. I know when I'm not doing coffee, I do feel a little better, but not that much better versus I really like coffee.
Yeah, I'm kind of, my opinion's the same. Do I think it's good for you? No. There's lots of studies out there that say, it helps with this and helps with this, but then there's lots of studies that say a vegan diet is good for you. So I don't think coffee is good for you, but I love it. So and it helps me get through the day, and so I drink it, but I have it black. The one thing I will say is, the people that kind of get on my nerves a little bit are people that say, I absolutely love a coffee, and then their coffee is one of those Sunday looking things from Starbucks. That's not there's basically no coffee in there because there's no room for it with all the cream and cherries and umbrellas and stuff that are sticking out of it, But and also they take a really long time to order when you're standing in the line. So
Yeah.
not a fan of that.
And yeah, and the bottom line is, if you have to have one or the other, if it's a choice between, because you have to have something on your way to work, if the choice is coffee or a donut, the choice there is fairly clear. The coffee is way better for you than the donut.
Here's an interesting question. What do you think about MSM? I guess that means mainstream media. For me, I don't watch it anymore, And I would just say about the mainstream media, the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is indifference, and I'm totally indifferent to the mainstream media. I think they basically provide no value because they're just after eyeballs to get the advertising dollars. So yeah, they're not providing any value. Any thoughts, Bob?
No, I haven't watched actual broadcast TV or mainstream media in a really long time because I don't have TV in my house. I watch streaming. I watch Amazon Prime through most of the year for my viewing entertainment. I have a Roku box that provides me with tons of free stuff. And then for 3 months out of the year, I pay for YouTube TV so that I can watch college football. But I haven't watched regular broadcast TV to even see what the mainstream media is saying in, I don't know, what, 15 years now?
So yeah, I just as you mentioned that, because we watch, it's YouTube or Netflix. Kids are not being brought up now watching mainstream media. So, how long can it last? Because kids these days, they go to YouTube or they go to TikTok or whatever,
Yeah, I mean, newspapers are all but dead now. And when I was a kid, my parents didn't do anything until they got the morning paper off of the front step and were reading it. I mean, that's just what parents did when you and I were kids, is they got the morning paper and they read the morning paper. And then they went on with whatever they were doing. And now you'd be hard pressed to find one or two people that actually have ever actually seen a newspaper in the last 10 years.
And we're talking about the mainstream media, and then he says, not mainstream media. The product MSM. I've no idea what MSM
I know what that is.
Yeah. No idea. Yeah. A lot of people are saying, no, he might mean MSM, not mainstream media, but I don't know what MSM is.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry about that. We completely took the thing off track there. Sorry about that. Yeah. But okay. Are there any other questions with defined acronyms?
Oh, on down there, almost to the bottom, like 3 up right now, or 4 up. MSM is something or other.
Methyl sulfonylmethane. I
again don't know what that is, so I have no opinion.
So, what are my thoughts? I have no thoughts.
That's a way bigger word than this retired truck driver's ever seen in his life.
Yeah, I don't do that many syllables. That looks like something that's on the back of the nutrition label. Yeah.
Somebody
tried
Terry.
MSM supplement. Terry. A dietary supplement commonly used for joint pain, inflammation. Okay. Thank you. So
Yeah.
it's for joint pain and stuff. And then Claire said, I tried MSM supplement. It was too disgusting to continue, so I didn't. Well, I think it seems like MSM and MSM are pretty similar then. Too disgusting to continue, so I didn't find out if it was helpful. I'm not keen on supplements anyway. I think they're overused. Follow the money.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
if it's dealing with arthritis and sore joints and joint pain and inflammation, just do 100% carnivore. And if that
Mm.
doesn't do it for you, go to the lion diet. Have just beef, salt, and water. Because anybody that has watched my channel and knows my story, 3 years ago plus a couple of months, I could barely stand for a couple of minutes without severe pain. This was as good a fist as I could make before I
Mm.
started carnivore diet. And now my hands work perfectly. I take no drugs. I walk at least 1.5 miles a day, some days more. And I certainly don't take anything,
Mm.
especially not some long, windy word that has more syllables than the alphabet has letters.
It's like there's a Welsh town that is really difficult. It's almost impossible to pronounce. You know, it's a little bit like the name of that Welsh town. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So yeah, I guess sorry for taking that off track completely there. But we've kind of reached the hour, so we'll probably finish up for today. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Really appreciate you coming on. And we will probably be back with you in about 2 weeks. Bob.
Yeah, absolutely. I say this every week, but I mean it every week. This is one of my favorite hours of the week because we get to just sit here and talk with you guys about whatever the heck it is you want to talk about. We don't have a script for this show, so whatever you guys put in the comments is where the chat goes. Today, we ended up talking about mainstream media and spinach. How fun is that? But anyway, folks, don't forget, get out there, be 1% better.